Hello, this is Ralph Fucetola, Natural Solutions Foundation. I have with me our two attorneys on the Gary Null and Rena Labo versus the FDA lawsuit that was partly heard today here in the federal court in Washington, D.C. I have Leslie Fourton, who represents Gary Null, and I have Jim Turner, our Washington, D.C. attorney. Gentlemen, do you want to talk about what happened in court today?
We had a hearing today about the notion of standing, why we should move forward with the case or reasons thereof, and he wanted to see that we had a real, what's called a case or controversy. He got right to the point as to what he was concerned about. He was firstly, of course, very concerned about the notion of being anything that he said, if he moved forward with the case, being overturned, and so he got right to the point, and we explained how, in fact, the doctors, while no longer under mandate, if you will, in the state of New York, we explained to him that the doctors certainly have not been given notification that, in fact, they're no longer under the mandate, or it's no longer in effect in writing, and then he certainly wanted to know why. Again, he kept coming back to the notion of why should we move forward? Why should we give you standing in this case when, in fact, the mandate is no longer in effect, and will no longer be in effect certainly on November 11th, as to what Richard Daines, the Commissioner of Health, has stated in the state of New York. But nevertheless, the case was dismissed today, but he does want to hear this case moving forward. He gave us clues that he does, and we certainly got in as much information, and specifically as to why it should move forward. That is to say that the fact that a novel virus is being given to the population currently, and people who have been given the novel live virus. And we made a lot of other good points today, and he said in so many words that he wants to take this case, but of course he didn't say that specifically, but it was quite obvious. What he does, he wants us to come back with a mandate, and a specific mandate, right. and that's the bottom line.
Jim, what do you think?
What do you think, Jim?
What do you think our next steps are?
I think the bottom line is the case was dismissed for lack of standing because the New York State mandate had been withdrawn. We did anticipate this, and we moved prior to the hearing today to amend the complaint to add New Jersey plaintiffs where there is a flu vaccine mandate in place.
For children under 5 years of age.
For children under 5 years of age.
Right.
And the judge would not allow us to amend our complaint. He said file that as a separate lawsuit. And so we are planning to file that as a separate lawsuit within the next 3 or 4 days, and to bring back to the court a case in which there is a definite mandate, and argue that there is a case of controversy, and then see if the judge or another judge will take the case under advisement. And we are considering possibly asking for reconsideration.
A very important issue is that by releasing a live virus vaccine on the public, all people, including the plaintiffs in the case, are at risk, and we're going to ask the judge to reconsider that particular issue.
Yeah, but the judge was very clear that on any science issue, he sees the scientists split, and therefore he does not want to. He sees them split and does not want to be the one asked to choose between one set of scientists versus another. Our argument is that there are regulations in place that should be followed, and they are not being followed. We believe that the judge or a judge will be in a position to want to address that issue if we can demonstrate that there is a danger, an imminent danger to somebody. And the way that he talked about the mandate today, it looks like a mandate might meet his requirements.
And so, people, what our intention is to continue to push back against the untested and uninsurable vaccines. We're going to broaden the case to include all flu vaccinations. And that's the word here from Washington today.